Everybody has a dream when it's comfortable to dream. Late at night, early in the year, after watching something inspiring, that's when people say, I'm gonna change my life. But dreams are cheap when they don't cost you anything. The real question is not do you want it. The real question is what are you willing to do when it stops feeling good? Because self-discipline is the line in the sand between people who talk about a better life and people who actually live one. It's easy to be excited, it's hard to be consistent, and success doesn't respond to excitement, it responds to consistency. Self-discipline is waking up when your body begs for more sleep. It's working when nobody is watching. It's choosing the long-term reward over the short-term comfort. See, your feelings will lie to you. Your feelings will tell you you deserve a break. You can start tomorrow. Just this once won't matter. But every time you listen to comfort over commitment, you move one step away from the life you said you wanted. Discipline is saying, I don't care how I feel, I care who I said I would become. You don't build greatness in one big moment. You build it in 1,000 small decisions nobody applauds. The extra hour of study. The extra set in the gym. The decision to save money instead of spending it. The choice to stay focused while the world is distracted. That's where reality starts shifting, because dreams stay in your head, but discipline shows up in your schedule. If it's not in your daily routine, it's not real yet. And let me tell you something, the world doesn't reward potential. It rewards execution. There are people with less talent than you winning right now. People with fewer resources, fewer advantages, fewer connections, but they have discipline. They show up whether they feel motivated or not. They keep going when it's boring, when it's repetitive, when there's no visible progress. That's the part most people can't handle. They want results without repetition. They want transformation without sacrifice. But every level of success demands a version of you that most people are not willing to become. Self-discipline is also lonely sometimes, because when you start choosing growth over comfort, not everybody can go with you. While they're partying, you're preparing. While they're relaxing, you're refining. While they're complaining, you're building, and it can feel like you're missing out, but what you're really doing is setting yourself up. Seeds don't look impressive when they're in the ground, but give them time, give them consistency, give them discipline, and they break through concrete. Here's the truth most people don't want to hear. Motivation will get you started, but discipline is what carries you when motivation disappears. And motivation always disappears. There will be mornings you don't feel strong, days you don't feel confident, seasons where nothing seems to be working. That's where self-discipline becomes your engine. It keeps moving even when the road is uphill and the tank feels empty. Because one day, not overnight, not instantly, but one day you wake up and realize you're not the same person anymore. The things that used to be hard are now habits. The things that used to scare you now feel normal. The gap between who you were and who you are starts to close. Not because of luck, not because of talent, but because you kept showing up when it would have been easier not to. Dreams show you the destination. Discipline drives you there. Life has a way of testing you when you least expect it. Not when you're ready, not when you're motivated, not when everything is lined up perfectly, but when you're tired, frustrated, doubting yourself, and wondering if it's even worth it. That's when mental toughness shows up, or it doesn't. And mental toughness isn't something you magically turn on in hard moments. It's built long before the storm ever comes. It's built in the quiet days, the disciplined days, the days when nobody is pushing you, but you still push yourself. See, pain is guaranteed, struggle is guaranteed, disappointment is guaranteed. You will fail at something. You will lose something, Someone will doubt you, overlook you, or walk away from you. The question isn't whether life will hit you. The question is what happens after it does. Do you stay down, or do you get back up? Self-discipline is what trains you to get back up even when every emotion in your body says stay down. Your mind is powerful, but it's also fragile if you don't train it. Left unchecked, it will chase comfort, avoid difficulty, and run from pressure. Discipline puts your mind on a leash. It teaches your thoughts to serve your purpose instead of sabotage it. When you wake up early, even though you don't want to, you're not just building a habit, you're building authority over yourself. When you finish what you started, even though it's hard, you're teaching your brain that quitting is not an option. Every disciplined action is like a rep in the gym for your character. And understand this, tough times don't create strong people. They reveal strong people. The strength was already there, built day by day through consistent effort. When everything falls apart, you don't rise to the level of your hopes, you fall to the level of your discipline. If you've trained yourself to push through discomfort, you'll push. If you've trained yourself to avoid it, you'll fold. That's why some people break under pressure, while others rise like pressure is fuel. Mental toughness also means controlling your reactions. Anybody can stay calm when life is smooth, but can you stay focused when things go wrong? Can you keep working when results are slow? Can you believe in yourself when nobody else does? Discipline keeps you steady. It stops you from making emotional decisions that cost you your future. It reminds you that temporary pain is not permanent defeat. There will be days you feel invisible, days you feel behind. Days you feel like everyone else is moving forward while you're stuck. Discipline says, keep going anyway, because progress isn't always loud. Sometimes it's silent, slow, almost invisible. But every time you refuse to quit, you're hardening your mind. You're becoming someone who cannot be easily shaken. And let me tell you something powerful. Confidence doesn't come from hype, it comes from evidence. When you've kept promises to yourself over and over again, you start trusting yourself. When life throws chaos at you, you don't panic because you've survived your own discipline. You know you can endure discomfort because you've practiced it daily. That kind of confidence can't be given to you. It can't be bought. It can only be earned through consistency. Most people are waiting for life to get easier. Strong people are training to get stronger. They understand that storms don't ask for permission. Pressure doesn't check your schedule. Hard times don't care how you feel. So instead of hoping for less weight, they build more muscle. Instead of wishing for fewer obstacles, they develop better endurance. Because at the end of the day, mental toughness isn't about never feeling pain. It's about refusing to let pain decide your direction. It's standing firm when everything around you is shaking. It's moving forward when stopping would be understandable. It's choosing growth when comfort is calling your name. Discipline doesn't remove the struggle, it makes you stronger than it. Most people hear the word discipline and immediately think restriction. They think pressure, rules, sacrifice, no fun, no freedom. They picture a life where everything is controlled and nothing is enjoyable. But that's because they're looking at discipline from the outside instead of experiencing what it actually produces. The truth is, discipline is not a prison, it's a key. It doesn't lock you in. It unlocks doors most people never even get to see. Look around at the chaos that comes from a lack of discipline, financial stress, poor health, broken routines, missed opportunities, constant anxiety about the future. That's not freedom, that's reaction. That's being controlled by circumstances instead of controlling them. When you don't discipline your money, money controls you. When you don't discipline your time, time controls you. When you don't discipline your habits control your destiny. What feels easy today becomes heavy tomorrow. Real freedom is waking up without regret. It's having options. It's not panicking when life throws you a bill, a challenge, or an opportunity because you prepared for it. Discipline builds that preparation quietly. Every time you save instead of spending impulsively, you buy future peace. Every time you choose healthy food over temporary pleasure, you invest in energy and longevity. Every time you stay focused instead of distracted, you move closer to a life where you don't have to scramble just to survive. People want freedom without structure, but structure is what creates freedom. Think about it. A musician practices scales for years so one day they can play anything. An athlete trains relentlessly so their body can perform without hesitation. A pilot follows strict procedures so passengers can travel safely across the world. Discipline builds competence, and competence creates confidence. And confidence allows you to move through life without fear controlling every decision. There's also freedom from regret. That quiet pain of knowing you could have done more, should have tried harder, wasted time you can't get back. Discipline protects you from that. It lets you sleep at night knowing you showed up for your life. Even if results aren't instant, you know you're on the path. Regret comes from inaction. Peace comes from effort, and understand this. Discipline gives you the power to say no to things that don't serve you. No to distractions. No to toxic habits. No to environments that shrink your potential. That's real power. Because every no to something small is a yes to something bigger. You're not missing out, you're filtering. You're choosing quality over noise, purpose over pressure, long-term fulfillment over short-term approval. It also gives you time freedom. When you handle responsibilities early, when you stay consistent, when you avoid procrastination, you create space. Space to think, to grow, to rest without guilt. Undisciplined people don't actually relax, they escape. Their breaks are filled with anxiety because unfinished work is waiting for them. Disciplined people rest differently. Their peace is real because it's earned. And here's the beautiful part. Discipline compounds. At first it feels hard, unnatural, uncomfortable. But over time it becomes identity. You're no longer forcing yourself, it's just who you are. You don't debate whether to do the work, you simply do it. That's when life starts opening up. Opportunities come because people trust you. Stability comes because you built it. Freedom comes because you paid for it in advance. So don't confuse discipline with limitation. Limitation is being stuck in cycles you can't escape. Discipline is building a ladder out. It's choosing a little discomfort now so you don't live with massive discomfort later. It's training yourself today so tomorrow doesn't have to break you. Discipline doesn't restrict your life, it expands it. You don't have to be born special to become powerful. You don't have to come from the perfect family, the perfect school, the perfect environment. Most extraordinary people did not start extraordinary. They started committed. They started disciplined. Because talent might give you an advantage, but discipline gives you control, and control beats advantage every single time. There are gifted people everywhere who never become great, not because they couldn't, but because they wouldn't do the work when the work stopped being exciting. Discipline is what turns potential into performance. Potential is just a promise. It means nothing until it's proven. You can be smart, talented, creative, full of ideas, but if you don't show up consistently, none of it matters. Meanwhile, the person who is average but relentless, ordinary but focused, tired but still working, that person becomes unstoppable over time. Why? Because discipline compounds. Small actions repeated daily become massive results eventually. Think about it like this. Greatness is not built in giant leaps. It's built in small steps, taken without interruption. One more page studied, one more hour practiced, one more attempt after failure, one more day you refuse to quit. Nobody applauds those moments while they're happening. They're quiet, repetitive, sometimes boring. But those are the moments where transformation is taking place. You're building a version of yourself that didn't exist before. And every time you keep a promise to yourself, something powerful happens inside you. Your confidence stops being fake and starts becoming real. You begin to trust your own word. When you say you're going to do something, you actually do it. That's rare. That's dangerous because once you trust yourself, you stop depending on external validation. You don't need applause to keep going. You don't need permission to pursue your goals. You become self-driven, self-fueled, self-directed. Discipline also makes you resilient. Ordinary people break when things don't go their way. Disciplined people adjust and keep moving. They don't waste energy complaining about what's unfair. They focus on what's controllable. They understand that obstacles are not signals to stop. They're part of the path. Every setback becomes training. Every failure becomes information. Every delay becomes preparation. And here's what makes disciplined people truly extraordinary. They don't negotiate with their excuses. Excuses sound reasonable. They sound justified. I'm tired. I don't have time. It's too hard. I'll start later. But discipline doesn't argue, it acts. It moves before doubt can settle in. It chooses progress over perfection. Because disciplined people know that waiting for the perfect moment is just another way of staying stuck. Over time, something shifts. What once felt impossible starts feeling normal. Waking up early is normal. Finishing tasks is normal. Pushing through discomfort is normal. And when discipline becomes normal, you operate at a level most people never reach. Not because you're superhuman, but because you removed the habit of quitting. That alone separates you from the crowd. You also become dependable. People trust you with responsibility, with leadership, with opportunity. Not because of what you say, but because of what you consistently do. Reliability is rare, and rarity creates value. Doors open not just because you're capable, but because you're consistent. And consistency is the language of discipline. So understand this. Extraordinary is not a trait, it's a process. It's the accumulation of thousands of disciplined choices made when nobody was watching. It's the decision to keep going when stopping would have been easier. It's the refusal to settle for comfort when you know you were built for more. You don't become unstoppable in one moment. You become unstoppable by refusing to stop. Discipline is what turns an ordinary life into an extraordinary legacy.